What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Pokemon Fun League. This week, it's week 8, and we're taking on Mike. Right now, we're 5-1, and we've never fought Mike before. Now, Mike's team's a little scary. You know, he's got a Gardevoir, he's got a Garchomp, he's got super crazy bulk in Toxapex and Blissey, and he also has a Mega Manectric and an Incineroar, a Golbat, a Lucario. Like, there's so many threats on his team that I don't even know where to, start while preparing for it. Basically, I just took it, I was like, okay, well, the bulk's a threat, Manectric is a threat, and Garchomp is a threat. And that's how I built this team. Now, you'll notice, usually we start off with Heatran. This week I decided not to bring Heatran for a number of reasons. Because Garchomp completely obliterates Heatran, Blissey completely walls Heatran, Mega Manectric probably could do a ton of damage to Heatran. That's pretty even. Incineroar destroys him, Toxapex destroys him, can't touch Golbat super well. Like, to me, Heatran wasn't the play this week. You know, I have other mons that can do better against his team, and I brought them. So, starting off, Manaphy, Zero Tails. He's got Tail Glow. Name is Zero Tails because Manaphy doesn't even have tails. Who decided to give Manaphy Tail Glow? He doesn't have tails. Holding the Water EMZ. Rain Dance, Tail Glow, Surf, and Psychic. Now, Rain Dance, obviously, it'll just make us faster. It'll make our water type attacks stronger if boosted by the Water EMZ. Tail Glow just boosts me to sky-high levels with special attack. Surf, primary damage, stab, and then Psychic is coverage for Toxapex, for Golbat, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Like, even though Surf does neutral damage to Garchomp, if it's in the rain, and if it's at a +3, it's killing. You better believe it's killing. Now we have Channing Tatum, our Aerodactyl. Holding the Aerodactyl, obviously, it's a Mega Aerodactyl. He's got Stealth Rock, Ice Fang, Stone Edge, and Earthquake. Now, Stealth Rock is just in case I have the opportunity to get it up. I could have run Iron Head instead, but I just figured, nowhere else on my team do I have Stealth Rock. It would just be really helpful. Stealth Rock totally will wear down the Incineroar and the Golbat, and you know, it just seemed like the right play. Ice Fang, pretty much solely for the Garchomp. Ice Fang will one-hit KO the Garchomp without any HP or defense investment. Even with some, I think it still does a crazy amount of damage. And Stone Edge for the Golbat, for Leavanny, for Cryogonal, for Incineroar. I could just keep going. I get for the Mega Manectric, for the Blissey, it's just gonna do a ton of damage no matter what. And then Earthquake, super effective against Toxapex, Mega Manectric. I believe with 140 and a positive nature, he outspeeds Mega Manectric while Aerodactyl is Mega. And I basically just dumped the rest into HP, hoping he can just survive a hit. Maybe not from Mega Manectric, but from something else. Next we have Yahoo, keeping up with the theme of naming after search engines. we had Wikipedia and we had Google. Now we have Yahoo. Holding the Choice Scarf, U-Turn, Earthquake, Defog, and Outrage. Pretty standard Flygon set. Flygon actually does crazy work against this team. I can basically just click a free Outrage on anything that isn't Gardevoir. And so as soon as Gardevoir is out of the picture, or assuming maybe he doesn't even bring the Gardevoir, then we're looking good. Then we can just literally just come in, Outrage until we're tuckered out and confused and whatever. Defog, obviously, to get rid of potential hazards. He does have a Leavanny. He could set up the Sticky Web. I don't want that. I have my own Sticky Web, as you'll eventually come to see. And then also whatever Stealth Rocks, because I do have 3 Pokemon on this team weak to Stealth Rocks. So that's going to be a big problem. I'm still okay with it, just because, you know, he resists it and he can just get rid of them, so it's not a big deal. And then obviously, Earthquake for coverage. And because I can basically, if Golbat's not there, I can just click Earthquake and it'll do a crazy amount of damage to anything that comes in. Now, this is kind of an interesting set to run on Alola Ninetales. 204 speed, I believe, outspeeds the Garchomp. Yeah, no, it outspeeds the Garchomp. It doesn't outspeed the Mega Manectric, but nothing on my team is going to outspeed the Mega Manectric except for Aerodactyl and then a +1 Manaphy, +1 speed, that is. As Yogurt, Aurora Veil, obviously, because Aurora Veil is just so busted. Freeze Dry is coverage move, does damage to Toxapex, to Garchomp, to Golbat, Leavanny, and it's just a nice way for Alola Ninetales to get off damage. Now, here's the play. He has a Blissey. Now, if we Toxic that Blissey, and he's soft boiling, we can just kind of sit there, and we can Pain Split over and over again. We're going to get healed almost completely, because Blissey's HP is just so massive. I do want to test that theory. I might do like a little test battle, just making sure that Pain Split works the way I think it does. But I'm pretty sure this is going to be one way we get around big walls. And if we have the opportunity, if Alolan Ninetales is somehow sitting at very low HP, and one of his Pokemon's at really high HP, then we can Pain Split, and we can just get all that HP back, and once again have a pretty healthy Aurora Veil user, and then just shielding the rest of my team from whatever damage they want to take. Now we have Minecraft the Galvantula. Now, pretty standard Galvantula set. 212 outspeed the Garchomp. I dumped whatever else into HP. I know that seems a little weird for a Galvantula, but I really just want him to be able to live a hit. He does have a Focus Sash, but Galvantula is a little frail for my taste, but he does really well against the team. He's got Volt Switch for utility. Thunder, obviously Thunder does just crazy damage against pretty much anything that wants to come in, except for the Blissey. Mega Manectric has Intimidate, so it won't even be able to take like a Thunder. And then Bug Buzz does work against Leavanny, does work against Garchomp. I think Gardevoir is actually neutral against. But Thunder also does like a lot of work against Toxapex, which is like a big thing that I'm looking out for. I really don't want to get walled in this match. Like they have the potential to get walled. I don't have like, you know, a super crazy wall breaker on my team. I have Pokemon that are able to, but they need a little bit of help first. And that's what the Sticky Web is there for. It's so that we can outspeed, we can potentially set up, we can force switches, Volt Switches to gain momentum, you know, classic Pokemon things. And lastly, we have the return of the Chief's arrival, Kahikilani, the Kommo-o. Now, Drain Punch, disgusting. Does a ton of damage against anything that's not Gardevoir or Toxapex. Or Golbat. So not everyone. And he does have Dusknoir too. And now that I'm looking at it, it's not actually going to do anything, but that's okay. He's probably not going to bring the Dusknoir. Dragon Dance. Now this is how we're going to hopefully win this battle. We've run Belly Drum in the past. Dragon Dance won us the battle against M1 back in week 4. We were able to set up last minute and just kind of tear apart his team with Drain Punch. Earthquake, obviously coverage, it's so we can hit the Toxapex, he can hit the Gardevoir pretty hard, he can hit the Mega Manectric with Incineroar, he can hit Incineroar with Drain Punch anyway, and then Ice Punch is solely so you can hit the Golbat and just absolutely obliterate the Garchomp. Ideally, we have the web set up, we have the Stealth Rock set up, and we catch him on a bad switch. We switch into like Toxapex or something, or even Blissey. And then we just are able to take advantage of, we can just set up in his face, and then he goes out into Mega Manectric, we outspeed him, we one-hit KO him with Earthquake. He's going to go out into Incineroar, get the Intimidate drop, that's fine. We're just going to Drain Punch and get the HP that we might lose back. This might be our win con, and I'm not totally sure, but that is the team, and it's a little different. It's got a lot of moving pieces, a little strange EV investment, like pretty much everything that has like a wonky speed investment, it's just so I can outspeed a certain mon. This 220 is so I can outspeed the Gardevoir. This is for the Garchomp. This is for the Garchomp. This is just, I just want the most speed possible. This is for the Garchomp at +1, I believe, maybe? No, that's not right. It's for the Mega Manectric at +1. That's what it is. And then this is also for the Mega Manectric, not even +1. Aerodactyl is just fast as heck. So yeah, that is my team. I'm hoping this battle goes well. We are 5-1 right now, and I've never fought Mike before, so I don't even know what kind of style he battles with. I don't know how good he is, but we'll see. So let's just get right into the battle then. Okay, so we get in the battle. And I noticed that he brought every single thing that I thought he was going to bring except for Gardevoir. And we prepped for Gardevoir. And instead of that, he brings Cryogonal. And Cryogonal is pretty fast, pretty good ice type. Honestly, if there was a time for him to bring Cryogonal, this is the week. My team is pretty not great against ice. I have 3 weaknesses and 4 if you count Freeze Dry. Mad if he takes more damage from Freeze Dry. But he pretty much brings what around what I expect. I'm not sure who he's going to lead. I don't know if he's going to lead the Garchomp or the Manectric. And he ends up leading with the Manectric. And I end up leading with Aerodactyl because I'm like, okay, Aerodactyl can outspeed pretty much anything on his team. I think he might lead with Cryogonal, and I know I can outspeed the Cryogonal. But he goes into Manectric, I go into Aerodactyl. And here's where things get like a little bit wild. He stays in, I go for an Earthquake, and I forget that Manectric, when it Mega Evolves, has Intimidate. And I calced it, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to kill it like 100%. Like, Earthquake does a ton of damage. I Earthquake it. It does 71%, and I'm like, oh, right, Intimidate. I forgot all about it. I thought it wouldn't work. I thought it wouldn't pop. I thought you had to, like, switch in. I don't know what I was thinking. And the Thunderbolt one-hit KOs my Mega Aerodactyl. It's just been a theme. Everybody preps for this Mega Aerodactyl so hard, and I don't blame them at all. But he one-hit KOs my Mega Aerodactyl. And I'm thinking, oh no, like that's such a pain. So I go into Flygon because I'm Choice Scarfed. I know I outspeed. And I just straight up click Outrage. He didn't bring the Gardevoir, so nothing on his team wants to take an Outrage. But unfortunately, the Cryogonal lives on 1 HP, is also Choice Scarfed, gets off an Ice Beam, and kills my Flygon. And I'm like, who Choice Scarfs their Cryogonal? Whose idea was that? And he literally lived on 1 HP. Like, if you hover over the guy, it's 1 HP. And so I'm down 2 Pokemon. His team's sitting pretty good, honestly. Like, his Pokemon are a little weak. I go into Ninetales, and I set up an Aurora Veil. I know that he scarfed an Ice Beam. He can't do too much to me. I set up an Aurora Veil, and he goes into Blissey. And I'm like, this is exactly where I want this Blissey. I want to get a Toxic off on this Blissey. I do have the Pain Split specifically for this Pokemon. He sets up his rocks, and I'm like, okay, that was a great play. I thought he was going to go for Toxic. And I'm kicking myself because my rocker is dead. I didn't get a chance to set up Stealth Rocks, and Aerodactyl is just down, and I'm down 4 versus 6. And the battle's not looking so good in my favor right now. I do have Aurora Veil up, but other than that, and at this point I comment, I'm like, Scarf Cryogonal, like, oh my god, I can't believe it. I switch into Kommo-o, because I'm like, okay, maybe I can set up, maybe I can do some things, and he paralyzes me. And I don't know if I thought he was going to Toxic. I don't know if I was like forgetting about paralysis or something. Something I've noticed with myself is I tend to set up a little too early. But I get paralyzed, and I'm not able to hit the Blissey. But I do, in fact, I know he's going to switch into Golbat because I was going to, or he probably thought I was going to Drain Punch. So he switches into Golbat, and I double out. I'm like, okay, I'm going to go in Galvantula. Galvantula is, in fact, Focus Sashed, but now it doesn't matter because the rocks, and I make the prediction here. I go for the Bug Buzz because I figured the Garchomp was coming in. It does less damage than I thought it would do, and I'm max invested in Special Attack, so I'm thinking that this Garchomp was either invested in HP or Special Defense, because it would have been a 2-hit KO otherwise. I set up the Sticky Webs because I'm like, now's the time. I'm going to stay in on this Garchomp. I don't know if he can kill me with whatever he has, and he pops the Z move, and I think Tectonic Rage. Is that, I think that's the Earth one? I'm pretty sure it's the Earth one. He goes for the Z Earthquake, probably, and down goes my Galvantula. And I'm sitting at 3-6. It's not looking good. I don't have any rocks up. I'm not doing any residual damage. And I go back into Ninetales to revenge kill the Garchomp. I Toxic the Blissey once again, and we're still sitting, you know, basically we can't do anything to each other. I can hit Freeze Dry, I can hit Toxic, I can hit Pain Split, and I can wait for Aurora Veil. And that's about all I can do. And so I decide to stay in because I know Aurora Veil's going out. I don't want Ninetales taking more rocks damage. And I just go for the Freeze Dry. He goes for the Seismic Toss. Aurora Veil is over at the end of this turn. And I'm caught up, so I'm going to speed up the battle a little bit. It actually might be going too fast for me. I had a little bit of coffee, so I'm kind of wired. I go for Pain Split, and it actually doesn't heal me as much as I thought it was going to heal me. But he goes for Soft Boiled, and I'm like, okay, well, I don't think there's any winning in this scenario. He's going to get Toxicked and Toxicked over and over again, but I do set up one more Aurora Veil before I eventually switch out. So now we have 8 turns of Aurora Veil. We are holding the Light Clay, and he does get the Para off on the Ninetales, which is kind of unfortunate, honestly. But we have 7 turns of Aurora Veil, a paralyzed Ninetales. I can't really do that much. And if he stays in, I know that he's going to get Toxic'd down. The Blissey's going to take more and more toxic damage, so I think, okay, now is the time. If I'm going to bring this game back, I have to set up with Manaphy, like, right now. And he brings in the Incineroar, thinking I'm going to stay in with Ninetales, and I don't. And I'm so thankful that I don't, because now all of a sudden, he's in a pretty bad situation. Hail's gone, doesn't really matter. I go for the Z Rain Dance. I could have just went for damage, but I really figured that I should probably set up. I do have the Sticky Webs up, so now I pretty much outspeed anything on his team. And so he goes for the knockoff, figuring maybe I had something else besides the Z move. Manaphy was the only Pokemon that could carry a Z move. He is my Z captain. And I go for the Tail Glow. I set up in this Incineroar's face. I know he can't do anything to me besides Earthquake, which no, he doesn't. He does an Earthquake. He actually U-turns. And he gets a crit, which doesn't really matter, but it affects my decision-making for the next, like, couple turns, because now I'm sitting at an amount of HP that I'm not super comfortable with, but I am at 2.5 special attack and 1.5 speed. I know I can kill the Golbat. I'm like, alright, get him out of here. I don't know if he was sacking off the Golbat or whatever he was doing, but I Psychic it, and it's dead. And at this point, I start coming back a little bit, you know? And I'm a little bit excited. But I know that, let's see, he sends in the Cryogonal. It doesn't get affected by the Sticky Webs, which I don't know why I thought it would. I guess it gets Levitate. He gets the Freeze Dry. I'm glad it wasn't super effective. Or not, it was super effective. I'm glad it wasn't a critical hit. I go for Surf, and down goes the Cryogonal. Now here is why the critical U-turn matters, is because now I'm under 50 points of HP, and I have, if this Blissey that comes in hits me with a Seismic Toss, I will die. And I'm scared of dying with Manaphy right now. So I end up Tail Glowing again, because I think that one Surf won't kill this Blissey. And the reason I think that is because I don't take into account Rain. I run the calcs, I do everything. It's like, oh, it'll do 40%. I'm like, it's at 47. I'm not going to be able to kill it, so I have to set up another Tail Glow. But turns out, I literally didn't even, like, click Rain, so I misplayed there a little bit. I probably could have just ended the battle, just kept surfing, kept doing the thing. But I Tail Glow again, and he Seismic Tosses me. I do a pretty decent chunk to this Blissey, but now I have the opportunity to go back into, I believe, an Alolan Ninetales. No, I go into Kommo-o. I just go straight into Kommo-o. I actually don't even need to go into Alolan Ninetales. Isn't that just crazy? And if I'm going to drag this battle back, I have to Dragon Dance, because his Garchomp, or his Mega Manectric, is going to outspeed both of my Pokemon. They're both paralyzed. And I don't know why he stayed in to decide to go for the Seismic Toss, because now I'm sitting in a pretty good spot. I have the advantage on the Blissey. I'm at +1 speed. He's at -1 speed. I go for another Dragon Dance. He does, in fact, have 2 Intimidate users, which is a little scary. Not gonna lie. And he keeps going for the Seismic Toss. I think he's just trying to hoping for Paralyze at this point, or Parahacks, or whatever you want to call it. And at this point, I'm at 36%. I get Paralyzed again. And I'm like, oh no, like, is the Seismic Toss gonna kill me? Is this really gonna do the thing? I didn't even check. I didn't think it would. And I live at 3% HP. I am faster, and the battle hinges on me not getting paralyzed right here. Luckily, I don't get paralyzed. I hit Drain Punch. I get 87% of my HP back, because Blissey's just a fat Pokemon. I just had a ton of HP. And I'm sitting at 2 times speed, which actually ends up making me normal speed. I'm at 146 speed. And he sends in Garchomp. Garchomp does not outspeed me at this point, because he's at 0.67 speed. And I go for the Ice Punch, because I figured Drain Punch would kill. I probably should have went for Drain Punch. It really didn't matter. And at this point in the chat, he goes, Webs won you the game. I like it. And I'm like, I think Webs absolutely did win me the game. Galvantula didn't do the most, but Galvantula had a couple of key points and predictions in the battle. I did misplay really hard in the beginning with Aerodactyl. And then, I don't want to say I misplayed with Flygon, because I didn't really misplay with Flygon. I would never have expected a Scarfed Cryogonal. Like, that's madman strats right there. That's just crazy. And I'm sitting at 100% HP now with this Kommo-o, and I can just Drain Punch anything that comes in. 2 Intimidate users, but I am at ×2 speed, so now I'm just free to Drain Punch over and over again. I did, and I get paralyzed, of course. I did play, I think I played pretty well. I think Mike also played really well in the very beginning. His sets kind of outclassed mine, or right at the very beginning, I didn't even think about Intimidate, and I was kicking myself, and but it all ended up okay. I was able to set it with Manaphy, punch some holes in his team, and then Kommo-o was able to come in and clean up sweep. I'm not sure why he went for knockoff there. I don't think he could have done anything anyway, but yeah. And so is Drain Punch City. And down goes the Incineroar. We're sitting at +2. And it was just a crazy battle full of ups and downs. I really took my time with this, with these ending like calculations. I was like, oh, will Ice Punch kill? Oh, will Drain Punch kill? Like, you know, it was a lot of speed things. I was like, is my Kommo-o gonna outspeed this Mega Manectric? If this Mega Manectric goes for Hidden Power Ice, am I gonna die? If this Garchomp goes for whatever, like, am I gonna die? Is this gonna be okay? And then everything worked out. So it was a great battle. Yeah, it was a really good battle. Honestly, like probably the craziest battle I've had so far, besides maybe week 1. And last week when Mario just sat up in my face and called my bluff, and I was like, what do I even do here? But now we're sitting at 6-1, and next week we're facing Dale, I believe. Dan? Hold on. It might be Dan. I'm checking my other monitor right now. I actually don't know. Schedule. Where are we going? Next week we are facing... Wait, oh. We're facing Murphy. We're not facing anybody. Okay, we're facing Murphy. And Murphy right now is... Where is he? Murphy's in the blue division. So it is a Conference Cup match, as was that one. We never fought Murphy before, and I'm excited for next week. So if you guys enjoyed this, if you enjoy whatever content, more stuff coming, again, click likes, click subscribe, and I'll catch you guys later. Yeah, great battle. Fun. Till next time.